think it's just so cool that we get a chance to play with all this stuff.
Sure.
Because you want to know what I was doing? Like back in like high school days, I had a TV, and I would get a Fresnel lens. Right?
Right.
I don't know where I even got it. It's like just like those ones that you get. It's like CVS. It's a magnifying glass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's a big old like sheet, and you can magnify like whatever. I got one of those. I put like a cardboard box, and then I put that in the front, and then I took my TV and I put it upside down.
Yeah.
Because when it would go through the Fresnel lens, it would flip it.
Right.
Right. So I had an upside down TV, that on front of it, and then I'd adjust the distance, and it would project an image onto my wall.
That's
and
fun.
it was super blurry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was just a fun thing.
That's
and
funny.
looking back, I'm like, man, that was crazy. But now look at, we get to play with all this cool
Absolutely.
stuff. So, you know, I always tell people being appreciative of what you have. So I didn't have very much at the time, but I enjoyed it.
Yep.
It gets you to where you want to be. Right?
Yeah. You know, I get that question sometimes too. It's like, you know, at what point do you get satisfied with what you have? Are you always seeking bigger, better, badder kind of thing? And for me, it's never really been about the end result. You know, when I think about building my theater room, when I first had, you know, a 103-inch screen, man, I loved it. I didn't have a desire innately to go, man, I want something bigger. It was when I found a good deal on a pair of speakers, and those speakers no longer fit, you know, in my room and in the cabinet, that I built a different cabinet. And since I was building a different cabinet, I had the opportunity to put all three of my speakers behind an acoustic transparent screen. And so I'm like, okay, to make that happen, I need to go bigger. Well, how much bigger? Well, let's go as wide as we can in my room. My room's 13 feet wide, so let's go about 12 and a half feet wide, or 12. I think it's 12 feet wide. And, you know, it's one of those things that I would love to have, a bigger, better projector, but I'm 100% completely satisfied with what I've got
send
now.
that one over here. Buy that used one.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like what you're saying. It's like, okay, I've been satisfied like at every part of my journey, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful because I realize not everybody's even got a theater room. You know, I could look at it as, man, I really need a bigger theater room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that'd be cool. But the reality is, I mean, I just feel grateful and blessed that I have a theater room.
Yeah.
Not everybody's got that, you know. So
I'm with you.
you know, when those chances come and those opportunities come to upgrade, yeah, you know, I don't mind, you know, heading on the upgrade path, but I'm never really like looking way down the road saying, you know, I want to get to this level, and then I've arrived.
Yeah, you know why that makes a lot of sense, because if you're enjoying your system the whole time, it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy, you know, an upgrade.
Yes.
Because here's the thing, if you're dissatisfied that whole time until you get the upgrade, you know how long your satisfaction will be? It'll be that one, all right, finally, I got it exactly how I want. That'll last like a day.
Yeah.
And then the dissatisfaction comes in again. So it makes more sense to me to just be very happy with what you have. Try to make it sound better, and, you know,
tweak it,
learn how you can make it sound better.
Yeah.
Just have fun with it, you know?
And I think it even helps me when I go to somebody else's system. And all right, prime example, I went to somebody that had a system that was way above mine in a lot of levels. And they're like, man, I bet that's going to be hard to go back home to your system, huh? Even though it's nice. I'm like, not at all. Because like I said, I'm content with my system. And on the flip side of that, I can go to somebody that has a much lower end home theater than I do, and I can absolutely like celebrate with them and go, man, this thing rocks.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not trying to compare me to them. And I just want to rejoice with you and say, man, you know, you've worked hard, you've done your research, you've built something that fits your needs and satisfies you and your family and your neighbors and whoever's watching it. And, you know, it meets your needs and it meets your budget. So, man, rock on. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. There's no absolute, like, what is the best? No. It's kind of like all of it is interesting.
Yeah, just have fun with it, man.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right, Croson. I mean, even sound bars have a place. Now, I don't get excited about sound bars, but I can see where, there's certain applications, bedroom setup. Absolutely, man. It makes sense. And I mean, not a lot of people are going to put, 7 speakers and a subwoofer in a bedroom, with a TV. So some people are, but not everybody will. And so I think pretty much like all of those tiers, just like the opposite spectrum of that, not everybody's going to be able to put a 220-pound subwoofer in their living room either, So maybe the micro makes sense for them. Maybe the PB1000 makes sense for them. You got to figure out what works for you and what works for your needs, and then just enjoy it.